So today we're going to focus on grounding and creating your own personal calm. But first I want to start out by talking about what grounding really is. Grounding is a set of simple strategies that can help you detach from your emotional pain. Maybe this pain is anxiety, anger, sadness, or self-harm. It is basically a way to distract yourself by focusing on something other than the difficult emotions you are experiencing. You may also think of grounding as centering, distracting, creating a safe place, or healthy detachment. Although grounding does not solve the problem that is contributing to your unpleasant emotions, it does provide a temporary way to gain control over your feelings and prevent things from getting worse. Grounding anchors you, gives you a chance to calm down, and allows you to eventually return and address the problem that is triggering the unpleasant emotion to begin with. And grounding can be done at any time, anywhere, and no one even has to know. I want to go through 3 different types of grounding. You may find that one of these works better for you, and if so, hone in on that one. But first I want to talk about mental grounding, or focusing your mind. And I'm going to discuss a few ways that you might do this. For example, describe your environment in detail, using all of your senses. For example, the walls are white, there are 5 blue chairs, and there's a wooden bookshelf against the wall. And then describe the objects. What do the walls look like? What would it feel like if you touched the walls? What's the color? What are the smells that you notice in the room? What are the shapes that you notice on the bookshelf? What's the temperature of the space that you're in? You can do this anywhere, in any space. You're just simply noticing, without judgment, just noticing. You can also play a categories game with yourself. Maybe you decide to think of types of dog breeds, different jazz musicians or animals, or famous people that begin with each letter of the alphabet, or different types of cars, TV shows, your favorite writers, sports people, songs, different cities. The third one is describe an everyday activity in great detail. For example, describe a meal that you cook. And mentally say, first, I peel the potatoes and cut them into quarters, and then I boil the water, and then I make an herb marinade of oregano, basil, garlic, olive oil, and so on. And then you can also imagine something. Use a pleasant or comforting mental image. Maybe it's the beach. Maybe it's your favorite place to seek refuge from a long day. And use all of your senses to make this place as vivid and real as possible. Maybe if you imagine yourself sitting on the beach, you notice the waves crashing back and forth, and the smell of the salty air, and the way that the sun feels reflecting its rays on your skin. Maybe you reflect on what it would feel like to sink your toes way deep in the sand, or have the sand trickle through your fingers as you build a sandcastle. Imagine that place. Allow the place to become real in your mind's eye. Then also, maybe you could read something, saying each word to yourself or read each letter backwards so that you focus on the letters and not the meaning of the words. All of these ways allow yourself to mentally focus on the present. You're not thinking about the future or the past, but just the present moment. Maybe it's through imagery, or reading a book, or playing categories with yourself. But choose one of these ways and use them as a mental way to stay present. Now, I know this may sound like a lot, but I have a couple tips. The first thing is to practice. Like any other skill, grounding takes practice. So practice as often as possible before you actually need it. And then when you do, and you call upon this new skill, you know how to use it, and you can use it well. Try to notice which method you like best. Did you like the physical grounding, or the mental, or soothing methods, or some combination of both? Start grounding early on in a negative mood cycle. If you start before the anger or the anxiety or other feelings get out of control, the better your results will be. Ground early. Because sometimes when we're already in a negative mood cycle, it's hard to exercise the skill, let alone learn it. So try that. I wish you well and peace as you go along on your journey.